Hey folks, I wanted to create a video for you for the cello to show you the finger patterns that we're going to use for the D major scale. So most of our beginning string repertoire is written in D major. One of the things that you can see already is that I sort of have that rectangular boxed finger position over top of the strings, over the fingerboard. So we're going to begin with D major. We have our C string, G string, D string, and A string. So today we're going to be working on the D string and the A string, and I'm going to show you the finger pattern. Now, because the cello and the bass have longer strings, the whole steps and half steps on them are going to be further apart than on our violin and viola. So when we did violin and viola, we had first finger, second finger, and third finger very close to one another, so that second and third finger were just a half step apart. But because our strings are going to be bigger on the, or longer rather, on the cello and the bass, the half and whole steps are going to be a little bit further apart. So we have our D, E. Instead of using second finger for F sharp, we're going to use our ring finger, our third finger. And then we use fourth finger to play that half step between F sharp and G. Up to A string, another whole step. A whole step by putting down the ring finger, and then a half step with our pinky. So we've got 1, 3, 4, open, 1, 3, 4. Because on the cello, it's actually kind of nice. When we want to do what we would call low 2 in violin or viola land, we just use the second finger. So if we wanted to do minor, we have a backwards extension. Low 1. We just use that second finger instead of our third finger. But when we have a whole step in between E and F sharp, that goes from 1 to 3, 1 to 3, and then the half step is 3 and 4. Whole step, half step. Now on the bass, we're going to see in another video that those steps get even farther apart because our string is even longer. But for the cello, we're going to use that D major scale quite a bit. We can also use it for the first part of the G major scale because it has a similar set of half steps and whole steps. Right? That first octave of the scale has the exact same finger pattern. And again, notice that I have boxed fingers over top of my fingerboard. That's really important because when we eventually get to a point where we're doing vibrato, we need to have a singular contact point on the instrument so that it can move and rotate and rock easily. That's how we end up doing it. My cello vibrato is not great, but instead of having it smashed or mashed, that doesn't work very well. So one of the checkpoints we have with beginning string players is that boxed finger, so that we have a very limited contact point with the string itself. So that's something to pay a lot of attention to. But if we were to sing the finger numbers, we would have 1, 2, or rather open 1, 3, 4, open 1, 3, 4 for our cello. All right, guys.